You cannot complain about men not planning dates if you have ever ghosted someone, just been in an introverted mood and not showed up, have been in an introverted mood and just decided to cancel. Men do not plan dates anymore because we are starting to understand that women are majorly flaky. It is not worth the effort to go the extra mile for someone who is just probably going to treat our time as if it is not as valuable as their own. So,
a guy will go literally to war for the girl he actually wants to be with. They will move mountains, face fears, and change habits for you. They won't ghost, they won't confuse you, they'll make it very clear that they're not letting you go. I know a guy that just paid his girlfriend's monthly salary so she could travel with him all month. If they want you, they will make a way. If he's not putting in effort and you have to chase him, you're an option. The one that wants you, he'll show up and he'll fight for you every day.
Today we're going over a different topic. Luna is gonna be my model. We're gonna talk about manners. So fellas, let's say you're walking with your date. This is the outside of the street. This is the inside of the street. You place your date on the inside and you walk on the outside. Maybe that seems logical to most, but I see a lot of guys that don't do it. Now let's say you get to your car, you're gonna walk around the other side. Don't freak out. Then you open the door, help your date inside, and close the door. I know I'm making light of the subject, but truly I think chivalry is because people aren't teaching it anymore. So I hope you found this helpful.
And you sit up here and listen to these modern women talk about how they can't find a good man. To a singles event, can't seem to find a man. It's just a figment of my imagination. It's like Sasquatch. It's like Bigfoot. He doesn't exist. There are sightings, but the Loch Ness Monster, that's exactly what he is. I cannot find him. But then y'all go out here and disrespect the man, talk trash about the man, and then y'all get confused. Well, he's not showing up to singles event. He's not showing up to singles event. I can't really find a man to talk to me in the gym. Man, I go to the church, man, I go to the grocery store. I'm up here at the gas station at 6 a.m. creeping on men. I'm at Home Depot peeking around the corner, creeping on men. Can't find anybody. It's not a mystery. It's just that you run your mouth too much. And now men don't want to be bothered.
If you're a single mom entering the dating market, you're bringing baggage. Just accept it, all right? A man meeting you now has to think about the ex-boyfriend, the ex-husband, the drama, the history. That's already extra problems. Then there is the child. He's thinking now, am I expected to help raise a kid that isn't mine? Am I stepping into another man's responsibility? That's not a light decision. That's a huge burden for a man who had nothing to do with how the situation started with you. So, the reality is simple. If you're a single mother looking for a man, you better understand you're asking him to accept a lot more than just you. And if you're bringing that kind of baggage, you better be bringing serious value to the table, sweetheart, just to balance out that. Because you're not competing on ground level anymore. You're starting behind already, sis. And pretending otherwise doesn't change reality. Peace out, pumpkins.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Men, I want to save you some time and not let you get your hopes up because you might be misreading her. She might want to spend time with you. It doesn't mean she wants you. And this is how men and women are very different. So a woman, especially if she's anything like me, she will give you time and attention. She will text you, go two-stepping with you, play pickleball. Even if she's not attracted to you and she sees no future and she doesn't want to hook up. Men, on the other hand, they're not going to pursue a woman or make time for her unless they are attracted to her, they see a future with her, or they want to hook up with her. And so I just want to tell you, don't let your ego get in the way and create this story that she's into you when there's a good chance she might not be into you. And so if you want to know how she really feels about you, and if she wants you, then to be continued.
Modern women have this thing to where they're expecting you to do it like they want you to do it, exactly how they want you to do it. It's almost like a performance review. You know what I mean? A performance review. So, and I understand, you know, you have to talk to people and communicate with them. I get it. I understand it. I'm all for it. But modern women, the way they be treating you, it's almost like they think that they're your supervisor. Like they own you. Like you're the employee, they're the boss. that's the way they treat you. Like you don't know anything. You don't know what you're doing. Anything that might be coming out of your mouth hasn't been well thought out, hasn't been planned out. You're an idiot. You're a psychopath. You're aloof. You're obtuse. All of that.
Here's how you can spot men who actually like women. Part 2. Not just men that think women are hot or like the idea of having a woman around, but men who actually like and respect women. You should date the guys on this list. Okay, first of all, men who really like women are not gonna care if they're coming across as less than traditionally masculine. They're gonna have their own sense of style. They might even have long hair. And they're not concerned about being called feminine because they don't think that being feminine is an insult. But to me, that actually comes across as very masculine when someone is strong and confident in their own identity. So hot. Secondly, men who like women artists and performers, like women who are musicians and comedians. If I ever hear a man tell me that they like comedy but they don't like any female comedians, that tells me everything that I need to know. In the first video, I talked about men who like women have women as friends. Well, they get bonus points if they are friends with lesbians. Because if a woman who doesn't even like men likes you, that's a major green flag for a man. And then finally, I said it before and I'll say it again, they're not going to be conservative. Because you cannot say that you like women if you continually vote for a party that tries to strip away their rights. Hope this helped. Okay, bye.
I think it's funny because modern women, they want a man to lead, but then they don't want him to lead. Like they want him to provide, but don't be the sole provider. You know what I mean? Like it gets real confusing because you're never really ever sure exactly what they want. And so if men have to like continue to like try to guess what you want, how is that appealing? You could be out here giving somebody your money and they'd be like, so what is it that you actually want? I would love to do business with you, but what is it that you're actually looking for? And I think that's what most men struggle with. They don't actually know what a woman wants. These modern women. It used to be that you can get a read on what they're looking for, but nowadays it's a little bit more difficult.
Then maybe don't wear perfume or change perfumes. And is this really a flex? Men don't care about your perfume. Like you could buy a cheap one, and as long as it smells good, like he's cool with it. What I find weird is women will like post stuff like this, thinking they're gonna attract a man that makes a lot of money. You do realize the men that do make a lot of money want peace as well, right? They want a woman that's nice and kind and easy to be around. They want the same thing, like.
And a lot of times, what you might find with modern women is sometimes they know they're doing it and they do it intentionally, but then other times they'll do it subconsciously, where you have a man that's continuing to audition. You're still comparing him to an ex-boyfriend, Chad or Tyrone or some sort of guy, something like that you met somewhere, that you were in a situationship with. You wrote, well, you know, he's not like this guy, or he can't do it like this guy, and my ex set the standard, and all that other nonsense. And eventually men hear that and they leave. So a good man that you had on the hook eventually leaves because you're talking nonsense. Oh, you know, he's not really, he ain't a real man. He didn't step up to the plate. I ain't trying to step up to no plate. I ain't trying to do none of that, because this is not a one-sided audition to where you make all of the rules. We're both trying to put our best foot forward for each other. But it seems like in some form or fashion, only one of us.
You're going to want to listen to this.
One more time. It is, so the 5 pillars of a relationship is friendship, love, honesty, loyalty, and respect. Now, what is the weakest pillars out of these 5? Love. Love goes up and down. One day you're in love, one day you're down, one day you're okay, one day you're not. We operate on emotions, right? But if one of the other 4 pillars is missing, a relationship won't work. So I'm looking for a partner, a man that is willing to have a friendship, not just a relationship, a friendship. I want to be his best friend. I want him to be my best friend. I need a man that's honest. I need a man that's loyal. I need a man that's respectful. I need a man that's ambitious. I need a man that's kind and empathetic, because I've been with a lot of men who had zero empathy. They're narcissists, right? But I'm full of empathy. I sit with people are like, what is your dream? What do you want to do?
I have to tell you that when I see couples or when I see women on their own, the number one thing that's missing is the friendship piece. If you can't be friends with your partner, you're wasting your time.
I think we have to start realizing that, when we talk about dating events and singles mixers and stuff like that, and men ain't showing up, maybe that's a sign. If you promote, and all of the women show up, but all of the men decide not to, for whatever reason, why is nobody stepping back to ask, now why aren't the men coming? Why aren't the men here? Man, we tried to do pickleball, they didn't come. We tried to do basketball, they didn't come. They'll come for football though. Looks like they didn't come for football. Maybe we need to start reaching out and asking, why aren't you guys coming? I mean, we had a night where we watched a football game and we had wings. We did the fight night. We did baseball. I mean, why are you guys not coming out? We're trying to do things that cater to you. And they'll tell you. And whenever they tell you, listen. Matter of fact, you don't even have to ask. You can just go in a comment section and see what men are upset about and what they're worried about, what they're concerned about. But do you think that people listen to men and what they be talking about? No, because they don't care.
You know what most husbands will never say out loud? That sometimes they feel invisible in their own home. Not because you don't care, but because somewhere along the way, they stopped feeling chosen. The kids need you. The house needs you. Work drains you. And somewhere in all that noise, he starts to feel like the last one you have energy for. He misses the woman that used to reach for him, the one that made him feel wanted, not just needed. But he won't beg for it, because begging doesn't feel like love. It feels like rejection. So he gets quieter, more distant, until one day you look at him and realize he's still there, but he's not the same. And it's not because he stopped loving you. It's because he finally believed you stopped wanting him.
I'm pretty sure you take that on dates.
No, I don't eat on dates.
Explain. What do you mean?
Well, a man shouldn't be eating on dates majority of the time. The only time you should be eating on a date is towards the end of the night. Mm-hmm. Most men don't know how to date. You know that, right?
Let's get into it.
There's a science to dating.
Mm-hmm.
So if I meet a woman, my goal is to create an experience for her, because what most guys don't understand is you're not going to get a second, third, fourth, fifth date. How do I know? I've spoken to so many women who went out on a date with a guy, but he did something, or she may start talking to this dude, or something happens between the time they had that date and the potential for the next date, which ruins it. So what a guy has to do is he has to take the first date and turn it into 3 to 4 dates in one. It's called compressing time frames.
You're talking about like a whole day event.
Exactly.
And I think another thing that, kind of confuses men is that a lot of these modern women have a whole checklist of the things that they need you to do. They have a whole checklist of the things that they want you to do. And then when you meet those things, or you're pretty well through that list, like you're checking maybe not every box because nobody's perfect, but a good majority of the boxes. She'll say something like, well, I mean, sometimes she don't even say anything. She just acts disappointed, like, okay, is that it? What else do you have? Like, I expect more out of my man. You know what I mean? And then when he asks, She's like, oh yeah, you know, you're doing great, but I know my friends would do, or my dad would do, or my grandpa, or I heard stories and tales of my great-great-grandpa, who I never even knew, doing this for my great-great-great-grandmother. So I need you to treat me like that. That's a myth. He never did that. If you go back to her and you ask her actually you can't ask her, because she passed away. Your mother's lying to you. That's a myth.
You guys want to see an example of a wife getting offended that her husband has to talk to other women at his work? Here it is.
Okay, yep. Well, it was good chatting with you. Appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, if you need anything, just holler at me. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Yes, ma'am. You too. Okay, sounds good. All right, bye.
The problem that I see with this is that man followed everything to a T by the book. Like, he did nothing wrong. He was warm, kind, and professional, and he wanted to get off the phone. Also, men that are very interested in another woman, like, he doesn't want to get off the phone. And some women got after him for using the term ma'am, which I see as like super formal. That's not a term that you would use on a woman that you're really interested in. Maybe some of you will disagree on that, but from my viewpoint, the man did nothing wrong to signal any sort of red flags. All this is coming from is internal stuff from within the wife. And as long as she can recognize that and she doesn't end up giving her man the silent treatment or treating him terribly, then hopefully she can just learn from it, work on it, and grow from it. Otherwise, that husband is probably never going to know peace.
And I think it really has come to a point to where, you know, women are starting to really see men missing in action. You know, where are the men at? You know, used to be in coffee shops, or they used to be over here. They used to be everywhere. Men used to be everywhere. It's just not the case anymore, right? You know, the reason that a lot of these modern women really noticed a man is because a man was in their face, right? And so when something is in your face, then you're more likely to say, oh, no, here's one over here, here's one over there. You know what I mean? Like, say, for instance, one thing that my wife says is like, man, you know, I never noticed, you know, the type of car that you drive until I got with you. And you'd be like, they're all over the place. I've noticed them. That's why I got one, because I noticed it all the time. But that's how people, you know, if I see something, then I'm focused in on it. I'm locked into it. When men used to talk to modern women, then they were like, oh, the men are everywhere. Man's over here, man's over there. I can get a man. You know, there's a man. You'll never have to worry about a man. But now that men are kind of pulling back, then they're like, where are the men at? Well, the men are still right where they've always been. They're right in front of your face. It's just you don't notice them because they don't talk to you.
My problem is, I don't ever make eye contact because I've been taught that if a man really wants you, he'll find you. Now, what that usually encourages is psychopaths. Psychopaths don't need you to signal them because they're going to get you whether you want them or not. See, normal guys, ladies, they need a sign. And you thinking that you like them and they should know is not a sign. They can't read your mind, no matter how it seems. You've got to look at them in the eyes and smile. I know it's hard. I know you think you're gonna die if he doesn't come over. You might have to do it a few times. You might even need to say hello. You've got to be an invitation. Sometimes, some guys are not going to want that invitation. You're not going to die. A lot more of the times, guys are going to want the invitation because they don't really get it. Men are treated like shit. They're expected to be beat down time and time again and still be able to get up and approach you. Recognize this and you'll be ahead of the game. You don't have to knock him down. You don't have to tell all the other girls how gross and ugly he is because then maybe you'll get him. You just have to smile and be kind and not be a raised bitch.
Let me tell you something. You modern women got a man showing up for you for years. Doing your bidding. Fighting off these other men that be dogging you out, simping for you, ungrateful, pretty much buy you anything that you want. as long as he can afford it, and it ain't gonna put him out. That ain't the man that you want. Show up for you, be on the phone with you, gotta go to work early in the morning, gotta get up and go to the gym, need to be grocery shopping, on the phone with you. Had a business meeting, because some of these men are missing business opportunities. And you might sit up here and say, oh man, he an idiot for that. Maybe so. Maybe so. But he's trying to invest in you. And this is what men are trying not to do. See, I have this opportunity, but I'm trying to give you my time. And when y'all continue to waste a man's time, he says, you know what? I'm not missing no more opportunity. Well, you shouldn't in the first place. Exactly. But I did it because I thought you was going to be a good investment. And now that I know for sure, with 100% certainty, that you as a modern woman are not going to be a good investment, I'm going to be taking the business meeting every single time.
Because I'm in a relationship, I move like my partner is always watching, even when he's not. I don't need my husband around to act right. I don't need supervision to be respectful. I don't need reminders to stay within my boundaries, because how I move isn't based on who's watching, it's based on who I am. A lot of people are only as loyal as their partner can see them. When their partner's around, oh, they're solid. They respectful, they committed, they are locked in. But as soon as the partner's not around, their entire behavior shifts. Now it's not that serious. They don't have to know. It's just a conversation. And that's not loyalty. That's performance. You're not committed. You're a talented actor. Because real loyalty isn't about what you do in front of your partner. It's what you allow yourself to do when they're not there. The conversations you entertain, the energy you give off, the doors you leave open. That's the real you. And let's be real. It's easy to behave when you're being watched. Anybody can do that. But integrity, discipline, and respect will always show up in private. So no, I don't change how I move based on who's around, because I don't just respect my relationship when it's visible. I respect it when it's not. And that's not pressure. That's character. What you do in private will always reveal more about you than what you do in public.
A lot of these modern women, after they get tired of being strong and independent, they want to get mad at a man because he don't step in and he don't drag her by her neck to do the things that she once didn't want to do. I'm sorry. You told me that you didn't want that to happen. Well, stay out of my way. I ain't never gonna let a man tell me what to do. But now that you're tired of carrying a load, you just want that man. See, what they think men are doing is they think that think about it like the NFL, right? Where very few people get a chance. And so if one go, like you just got one waiting for that man to go down. I'm just waiting for my chance. That man don't even got to go down. Just switch me in. Just give me a chance. You go out there, you get burnt. Coach sit you down. Okay, coach, I'm ready to go. I'm really ready. Not even the next game. You ready to go in the next drive. After you got burnt. Coach, that was my first time in. Put me back out there again. They think that men are that desperate to date them. That's why they think, oh man, I can always get a man like that. No. How many times, let me say this, how many times do you see an all-star? Because that's what y'all are looking for. How many times do y'all see an all-star begging to get back out there? Nope. He's not going to do it. He will go to another team. Because I have that cachet. I can do that. Oh, you don't want to play me? Oh, you want to sit me down? You don't have but a hand, and you might call it a diva, and I can't argue with you. But you ain't got but a handful of times to do that. In the middle of the season, I'm requesting a trade. Kevin Durant requested a trade. Hey, all-star athlete requested a trade, and it's gonna be granted. It's gonna be granted. So y'all thinking that y'all gonna have this bench of all-stars that when one go down, the next one up? No.
What percentage of women are even marriageable? right now.
3% statistically, if you want no tattoos, no debt, and and under the age of 35, I think.
Yes, and
There's a couple more they added into it, but it was like in the book of numbers, like not overweight, no other kids.
3%.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a man's job. And here's the
Men just have to
problem.
man up and marry these.
Yes, of course they do. That's the right thing to do, and that's what they've been doing, which is why half of the marriages are failing, and then 70% of second marriages are failing. It's a failure of men, in my book. They want to practice these unrealistic expectations, and I think they've got a sort of shame-based thing going on here. If we don't make women happy, we're not men. That's also tied into this.
Oh, wow, that's really true. I didn't think about that till you said it, but that's really true.
It is.
If we don't, because that was even during the Michael Knowles debate, that's what he said. I said, well, if she gets the wrong group of friends, she can leave. If she does this, and then he's like, oh, well, you got to watch the friends, you got to watch the leadership. And so it's like putting all accountability for a marriage failing on the man.
Absolutely.
When sometimes like a chick she just wants to go. You can't do anything.
Allison, thank you so much for coming on my podcast again. The first episode we did together has been a sensation since it's come online. I still get messages about it. I have even had someone whom I don't know message and text this episode we did to someone else, not knowing that that person knew me, and said, you gotta listen to this episode. And she goes, that's my friend. So it's made its rounds. It's impacted a lot of women, triggered some women.
I read a lot of the comments. I just so wanted to respond.
It's hard because you want to, but then you have to reflect and go, do I have time for this? Am I going to make space for this? Is that the energy I want to spend my energy on?
Mine was actually just if I could pin it. Because what I wanted to respond to was the thing that kept me up. Like, well, when are they going to learn about us? And why do we have to do all the work? And no. That was the one I wanted to respond. Like, and my daughter, who does our YouTube, she was like, no, Ma, you can only pin on your channel.
You could have asked me to pin it because that was the one I kept seeing too. And you're right. If you had, because it's an expenditure thing. When I say am I going to make the energy for this with the knowing that one person will read it versus the energy to put into it, knowing maybe lots of people will read it and this will be helpful. So next time, let's do that. Or we could even go back to that one and do it and I'll pin it.
Yeah, what we plan to talk about today, I think, is the response to what about their part?
Yes. And for those who don't know, the first episode was about what women need to know about men, how to stop being frustrated with men. And it's empowering information in my mind. I think there's two ways to look at it. You can look at it with a victim mindset or a victor mindset. And to me, it's empowering, and I have a victor mindset about it, that I can do something about this.
The best relationships are when the woman is the star of the relationship and the man is the supporting container. I don't give a if the man's a billionaire. I don't give a if the man's a famous athlete. When the woman is the fun and the juiciness and the man gets built up off of and inspired by who she is as a woman, the relationship is destined for success. The best example of this is Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. Lauren is the star. She's the joy. She's the exuberance. And you can see when they're in public together that Jeff gets built up off of it. Mind you, Jeff is also a star. He's one of the most successful men in the world, but Lauren is the star of the relationship, and Jeff is the container that holds it and gets pleasure out of it. This does not do well when the roles are reversed, because men do not make good stars in relationships. It manifests as being disloyal and manifests as being attention-seeking. Men are meant to be containers inside of relationships. If you find yourself being attracted to F-boy men, attention-seeking men, I believe you're actually attracted to a man in his star power, and you're not attracted to him. You're attracted to the energy that he's in, that you know you're supposed to be in. It just simply manifests in men differently than it does in women. Find a man who's a safe container for you to be the fullness of the woman you are. The richest man in the world does it for his wife. You can find a man to do it for you.
Why do people think that chivalry is just about basic mutual respect as opposed to a one-way servitude towards women?
Probably
Probably because it sounds a little bit selfish to say that you have to have a chivalrous man, but then you're not wanting to serve him in other ways.
Why do people believe that chivalry is dead when chivalry is still expected and practiced?
I believe that it is very hard to find, and so it feels like it's dead, but it should be still practiced, but it's far and few between.
I think women want to do whatever they want, but want men to treat them like with chivalry, but they're not treating their men that way, so they're like not being wise and acting as that to receive that kind of treatment.
You know what femininity is, chat? You know what femininity is? A big part of femininity is a woman being quiet, being docile, right? Did you ever think why men are attracted to feminine women and not masculine women that are loud as? Why are black women at the bottom of the totem pole? You ever think about that? Huh? The reason why black women are at the bottom of the totem pole is because they're fat and they're loud and they're obnoxious and they're masculine. All the traits that men don't want. Why Asian women rank so well? Because Asian women typically aren't fat, they're quiet, and they're feminine and they're submissive. There's a reason why Asian women constantly win when asked what type of women a man wants in dating polls. Because the stereotype is this: quiet, feminine, submissive. Men naturally go for this, okay? Why does a man want a quiet woman? Because number one, our life is loud enough. We have to fight with everyone else. We have to fight with everything, with everybody. The last thing we want to do is come to a loud house where a woman is talking. We do enough talking when we're outside. And quite frankly, I already did my talking on the outside. I already built myself up. I already put myself in a certain place. Last thing I want to do is talk when I'm home. Shut the up. And I want you guys to be unapologetic about this because it is in your biology, it's in your DNA to want peace and quiet, because when you go outside, it's already hectic enough. You go to war every time you go outside. Last thing you want is war inside the house. So do not tolerate a lot that talks back to you, ever. Ever.
If you don't go into marriage with the understanding that marriage is supposed to make you holy, not just happy, you are in for a rude awakening. While you are gathering up your standards for the type of man that you want, the money that you want him to have, whether he has kids or no kids, or he's a businessman or a corporate man, whatever that is, have your list, baby girl, but also have a list preparing you to forgive when you don't want to. Make sure you remind yourself that you are supposed to compromise, especially for my girls that have been single and getting to the bag and running their own show for a very long time. Make sure a part of your list is being prepared to be rubbed the wrong way. Welcome to the sanctification process. If you are not aware that marriage is a reflection of sanctification, you are going to be in for a rude awakening.
And this is why men are not committing. Listen to this.
I'm gonna call like the third guy on my fucking list and just get his ass to be beat. I'm gonna tell him that I was emotionally abused, because that's emotional abuse. Are you really fucking telling me? First of all, I'm using topology, okay? T13, this shit's good. Oh, it feels so good on my fucking skin. Oh my god. As good as it feels when they fucking send money. Okay? A man's value is not attached to his money, obviously, but I'm not here to fucking perform for you. You're the one auditioning, so your job is give me what I want, because what you want is to procreate with me at the end of the day. You want my coochie, you gotta earn my coochie, okay? You gotta earn it, and I'm not giving you access. Why would I give you access? What is this, I don't know, club? You think you can just pay $20 cover fee and then you get in and you can just walk on any floor? No. This isn't even a country club. This is a different type of club. Okay, this is an exclusive club. You don't get to come in here. No. First of all, we don't accept applications. All right, I will say that we do.
You see how insufferable and annoying she is, and this is what these are the choices for you, gentlemen. Okay, observe, gentlemen. Use with the proper head. Okay, don't use your downstairs head. Okay, this modern Western liberal woman, this is clown behavior, while her sitting there put makeup on. You cannot make this up, okay?
All right, so I have a message for the men. This is for the men only. Fellas, if you are constantly texting or DMing a woman who you're trying to take out, and she's either ignoring you, leaving you on red, or she's even not making you a priority, she's slow to respond. Fellas, I want you to understand, you are literally begging someone to let you spend your money on them. I want to say that again to make sure you caught that. I'm not talking about pursuing a woman. I'm not talking about you putting in effort. Simply put, if she is ignoring you, slow to respond, or leaving you on red, not making you a priority, you are begging someone to let you spend your hard-earned money on them. Stop it. Stop it.
I might be wrong, but I've noticed lately that a lot of guys don't know the difference between equality and chivalry. Like, if you want equality, you shouldn't expect chivalry. Since when did these two become mutually exclusive of each other?
Yes, chivalry and equality are mutually exclusive because an act of chivalry is something a traditional man does for a traditional woman by all means. You can't have all of that strong independent women wala mindset and then demand for conservative gender roles. That's hypocritical. Just like you can't demand for traditional values and liberal values according to your situational benefits. Also, the act of chivalry is something men automatically do for the women they admire. So if you find yourself asking for it or demanding for it, you are certainly not worth it. So take the hint and start evaluating yourself. You know, I think you should replace the letter R with the letter P in your surname to perfectly describe your opinions and thoughts. Just a suggestion.
Black women have two different filtering systems with how they view interracial relationships. So when Kamala Harris, married to a white man, when Kamala Harris ran, most black women, that was never on their radar. They didn't even care. They were so focused on supporting her and believing because she went to HBCU, that counts, that the idea of she being dismissed because of who her spouse was with, that wasn't even the furthest thing from their mind. They were actually willing to call out other black people's blackness if they didn't support a black, so-called black woman that was married to a white man with white stepchildren. If Barack Obama had ran and his wife was white, would he have gotten that much support from the black community, specifically black women? That's not unusual. You'll see it with Eve, Serena Williams, Meghan Markle, you name it. A lot of them don't even view it as neutral. They're actually excited, supportive. And then when it comes to black men, especially men with money, men that they want, and even some men that they never did want, they will now have all this energy that they don't have for those ladies. And many of these men have never said anything disparaging about black women.
You single?
No.
How long you had a man?
5 years.
And how long have you had a baby?
He's almost 2.
Was it with him or with somebody else?
Him.
So how much does he have to make to take care of you and your daughter?
At least $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month?
W woman. I mean, she shouldn't be wearing stuff like that if she's got a husband. But there still is good women out there. She's not asked about how much that fella makes, as long as they're getting by. All is not lost. If you want to try and find a woman of God, download the Avon app. You can ask her questions such as, how can I find a woman of God? And it'll give you qualities that a woman should have to know she's all for the Lord. Some women out here do want a family. They do want the right man. They don't want to sleep around. They want to be the best version of themselves. And God bless them women that want that. Because there's too many women out here wanting to party and get the body count higher, and they're not asked about being a wife, only when it's too late. Stay woke in these streets, big brr.
Okay, so this is why the guy on the dating app that you matched with isn't asking you out, and he's making like annoying small talk, and you're like, dude, we're on a dating app. It's time to go on a date. It's genuinely a misunderstanding. Here's what I mean. When a woman's on a dating app, she's using a whole bunch of information to decide if she wants to send a like or to respond to his like. She's going to look at all the pictures. She's going to see how they make her feel. She's going to read all the captions, see how those make her feel. If there's any socials on there, she's going to check those out, see how they make her feel. And then, bloop, like. So by the time they've matched, she's done her research. She knows she wants to go out with this guy. When a guy's on a dating app, it's a completely different experience. Number one, we rarely read captions. Number two, we probably don't even look at all your photos. Number three, we have not even checked out your interests to see if anything's aligned. We just do what dating apps are unfortunately built for, which is no, yes. And then once there's a match, and only once there's a match, do we decide that we want to know more about this person. Check out her social media, look at all her pictures, read the captions. So all the work that a woman did up front, like the pre-like work, the guy hasn't done that until there's been a match and probably a conversation going on. And though a lot of women want to say, well, he's just not masculine, he's not taking the lead, guys are scared to do stuff these days. Guys are logically minded. They know they're on a dating app to ask people out. It is in us to pursue. If he hasn't asked you out yet, it's because he's actually done a little bit of research and he's decided he doesn't want to. Am I right? Am I wrong? Everybody's experience? Tell me. Put it in the comments. Light me up, baby.
50% of men aged 18 to 30 haven't approached a woman in the last year.
And the men that have approached are doing remarkably well. More than half have gotten a date from it. And it goes down if you look to like long-term relationships, how many dates turn into a long-term relationship. But the men who are approaching, they're doing pretty well, actually.
Of that 50% of them did get a date.
Might have even been about 70%. At least got a date or a phone number or some kind of romantic connection there. People that approach women, they're getting dates from it.
Given the fact that this is an exclusively agentic decision that you're making, if you have a little bit more confidence in yourself, it's going to make making the decision more easy. But ultimately, there's a huge chunk of people in that 50% that are doing it that probably are just as unsure and just as terrified and just as uncertain as you are. So yeah, I mean, that's a serious white pill for why you should approach women.
I don't know what possibly could be a better ad for just do it.
Just do it!
Ask the girl out! Buy her dinner! Hold the door open for her! What's the worst that could happen? She says no. Half of all the men aged 18 to 30 haven't approached a woman in the last year. Obviously, I think there are a lot of reasons for that, which we can decode separately, but you have everything to gain from asking a woman out on a date. Part of the reason I am marrying my now fiance is because he didn't even ask me on a date. He told me, hey, we're going on a date, okay? And I said, great.
My husband is a 7-figure entrepreneur, and because he puts himself in rooms that are bigger than him, I have also been around 8-figure and 9-figure entrepreneur. And here's what I've learned as a dating coach about men with money and how they handle dating and relationships. The first thing that I learned is that they invest in what they value. If a man like this likes you, you'll know by the way that he shows up. And I'm talking about time, effort, and provision. Number 2, they value peace over looks. If you are a beautiful woman, but you are inconsistent, dramatic, and chaotic, it's going to be a no. They already deal with stress in the business. They don't want it at home. The third thing that I notice is that they observe more than they talk. They do not ask a million questions, but they do pick up on energy, habits, and patterns. So in other words, they watch how you move and how you respond to things. Lastly, they move slow with commitment. And I'm not talking about business stuff. I'm talking about relationships in particular. They do not rush relationships, but when they decide, they are very decisive. When it comes to this, they are not confused. If they want you, you will know it. The higher level the man is, the less he's chasing and the more he's choosing wisely. Keep that in mind.
A lot of these modern women, what they want is the benefit of a good man. They want the benefit of a traditional man. They want the benefit, all the benefits, that tradition, that the patriarchy, whatever you want to call it. They want all of those benefits, but they don't really respect the man that's giving them those benefits. A lot of these modern women will go out here and still be messing with, they'll find the dude and still be messing around with other dudes talking about, I just can't find a man that respects me. Can't find a man that wants me and loves me and sees me for who I am. Can't find him. Well, what about this guy? Yeah, you know, he does respect me. Is he ugly? No, he's not ugly. Is there any chemistry there? You know, butterflies is, you know, you say you're looking for a spark. Is there a spark there? Yeah, there's a spark there, but I'm 25. I'm 25. And I'm not paying attention to that spark right now. I'm trying to go out and create other sparks. Why would you go out and try to create another spark when you have the spark right here? Most people spend a lifetime looking for this type of man. You found him at 25, 26 years old. Some of these women, the the privilege of going to college, doing all that they need to do, and really honestly and truly, all that they want to do. Some of these women will be out here, beat and racked up a high body count, done everything that you can think of. By the time they're 30 years old, run across a man that would be like, yeah, I know you was wild, but I'm willing to, I don't care about any of that. Well, what's going to happen when men start talking to you about, yeah, I know, but I'm willing to overlook that. It sounds like you're changed. It sounds like you've gone to therapy. It sounds like you're not the same person anymore. Why don't we get together? No, I don't want to do that. Well, I respect you. I'll take you out. I'll do all of these things for you. No, I'm not ready yet. I want to go another 5 years doing all of the things that I want to do. And then, honestly and truly, in about another 5 years, when he's found somebody that has less bodies, respects him, respects what he does for a living, respects his community, respects his family, whole 9 yards. Obviously, she ain't perfect. He ain't perfect, right? They go ahead and get married. And at about 35 years old, he got a 5-year-old. And you sitting up there trying to, freeze your eggs and do all that other nonsense. That's on you, man.